I'm Maria Fontanaza with MedAd News, and I'm here at the 34th Annual Manny Awards with ConcentricLife leaders Michael Austin, Chief Experience Officer, and KC Dickerson, EVP and Head of Engagement. Welcome. I'm very excited to have this full circle conversation with both of you.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for having us. Excited to be here.
So let's jump in. We're going to talk about the human experience today. And in the context of artificial intelligence, we're hearing so much about AI right now. And we're talking about what humans bring to the table, how humans can continue to shape our experiences. Do we need humans anymore with AI? That's a big question. So we're going to jump right in. And KC, I'd like to pose the first question to you. With AI being here and it's set to change the way we work, how do you think we can continue to ensure that humans are involved in shaping our own experiences?
Well, I think that AI, while it is powerful and it pulls from broad databases, I think that the human interaction piece is the nuanced piece. AI does pull from a database. It's almost like looking at research and figuring out what they want to queue up. So it's really important that humans stay in the picture to get the more nuanced information and to really be insightful about what information is used.
And Michael?
Yes. I think the opportunity with AI and the big watch out is just to remember that it is mimicking, especially the new language models, it's mimicking humans. It's trying to become us, it is not us. And so as long as we see it for what it is, which is it's getting increasingly closer to humans, but it is not and never will be actually human.
Very good. And Michael, I'd like to pose to you first, what indelible qualities do humans bring to the table in the creative process?
Yeah, I think so, right? I've been working and sort of using creativity to solve health problems for my entire career. And I think the wonderful thing about creativity is license, right? It's taking the leap. It's having vision over visibility. And so I don't think sometimes it's being completely irrational. And I don't think AI is built to be rational. It's built to connect the dots between A to B to C. It can't readily skip to Z. So I actually don't think it can do a weak imitation of creativity. I don't think it can actually do it. It can pretend to do it, but it can't take the leaps of faith that humans can.
And KC, how can our industry use artificial intelligence to supplement our offerings?
Well, I believe that as a tool, we can use AI to come up with fast ideas or fast ways to write content. But I don't think that you can do those alone. Because if AI, for example, if there is bias in imagery or bias in language that has been programming the AI, then we as humans have to make sure that we're taking that bias out and ensure that the true reflection of our customers is actually reflected.
So where do you think we as an industry stand in terms of having that integration properly accounted for of eliminating the bias in AI? Are we in the early stages?
I believe we're in the early stages. I think that as an industry, especially in healthcare, one of the things that we need to do is, fight stigma and make sure that the people who are putting content in AI databases are really thinking about the whole of the people, not just the narrow stigmatized individuals or ideas about disease states or conditions. So I think we can help by providing that information and making sure that all of the people are accurately represented.
I would say, right, and it's sort of well documented about some of the inherent bias that's built into a lot of Silicon Valley. And the truth is, right, like bias in is bias out, right? If things are built with that inherent bias, that's what we're going to get reflected back to us. And so it goes back to the earlier question. It's like we're at, day one really of understanding what ChatGPT and what this new wave of AI is. And I think what's going to naturally happen is, right, we're gonna go all in and it's going to go too far, just like in social media, right? In the beginning, it was going to solve all of the world's problems, and then fast forward, 15, 20 years, Facebook gets blamed for the state of affairs in our country and how divisive everything is, right? So we over-index, and that's the way the world works, right? Like, it's this new tool that humanity has. We're gonna run it way off the tracks. I think, unfortunately, it's just a given, and then I think it's gonna be on all of us to bring it back on the rails. So one example of AI really going off the tracks right out of the gate is Levi's set out to have more diversity in their advertisements, like the models they used. But instead of actually going out and hiring more diverse models, they were like, let's use AI to generate diverse looking models, right? And it made a ton of sense because they thought on the surface, look, we can have more diverse looking people show up on our ads. But when you think about it, the reality is that's putting all of the diverse population and models who would normally show up and have a job, it's putting them out of work. And so kudos to the advertising world writ large. There was like instant backlash to be like, hey, yes, that seems like a very convenient fix, a way to use AI to actually advance for some social cause. But when you look at it in the harsh daylight of reality, it's the stupidest thing possible. So we are just beginning to figure this all out, and there will be many examples of doing it wrong, and hopefully many examples of doing it right.
Great. Well, thank you both in covering AI in such a succinct way.